Boomer Sooner, Sooner Nation. Welcome to the Sooner Surge, Double Trouble. Thanks for joining us as always, being on here. We have Hunter with us live from San Antonio, running the comments. The game tomorrow night, 8:15 kickoff, OU versus Arizona. We'll talk a lot about that game tonight, Jay. Couple things out of the portal we'll get to as well. But welcome everyone to Sooner Surge Double Trouble. What's up, Jay?
Less 24 hours away.
You sound like a robot. You sound like a robot. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, Daryl says we need culture, guys, not guys with a bunch of stars. Look, obviously Hicks made a great play early on in that game. I don't know if you guys saw that, but we'll see what Hicks does after this game. Whether or not he enters the portal. Yes, Mesh, you are right. Gino Vandermark is a no-go. He has withdrawn his name from the portal. He's going to stay at Michigan State. I know there's some ties there, like a girlfriend and some other things, and probably just did not want to leave maybe the comfort of Michigan State. It's one that I thought OU was getting. It's one that a lot of people thought OU was getting. Listen, OU also made another offer today, offering a defensive end out of Miami, Ohio, the MAC conference. Caden Woolard, right? Is that it? I thought that was an interesting offer today, Jay. You back?
Can you hear me? Is this better?
Yes, it's good now.
Okay. Interesting in what way? Because I was kind of like, okay. I mean, the only thing that really was exciting about it is if you look at who offered him, and he's got some good offers. But I'm not sitting here thinking, whoa, this guy's going to be awesome. I mean, I don't know a whole lot about him except he played for Miami, Ohio, and he had 9.5 sacks. But he's from Miami, Ohio. I mean,
again, Jay, this is the third edge. The guy from Albany, this guy, and then you have the edge from Purdue. Now, OU has not offered the edge from Purdue, but that's three edge guys. Again, nothing kind of in the middle that I was hoping for. Maybe they're waiting. Again, maybe it's McKinley, maybe Hicks. We'll see what he does after tonight. Maybe if they get just plastered in the second half, he'll think on leaving more.
Jeremy, you're foolish if you don't think David Hicks knows if he's staying or going. He knows.
I know.
This game means nothing.
And Jackson Wright says on 3 has Hicks with a 73% chance. I don't know what to believe.
Why would you say that this game he's going to change his mind after playing Oklahoma State?
I don't know why I said it, Jay. Hey, Gino Vandermark, everyone had the OU, and it didn't happen. So
the deal with Vandermark, obviously Michigan State came in and said, "Hey, we really don't want you to leave." Maybe they probably upped the ante a little bit. Plus, you got ties there. I mean, somebody put in here girlfriend undefeated. Okay, I mean, guys, girlfriend, fam, all of that means something. And maybe he thought he wanted to go to Oklahoma, and then the more he thought about it, they offered him more money. Who knows? But it's disappointing for Oklahoma. I'll tell you that right now. It's very disappointing. They need another lineman out of the portal. So that's disappointing. So
yeah. Hey, look, a lot of tonight is we want to talk about this game tomorrow night. Hunter's going to be throwing some polls in the chat, things about who's going to be the leading rusher. Just make sure you guys are voting and commenting on that. We appreciate all the comments. And again, thanks for joining us as usual. And Colby makes a great point. Girlfriend is a big reason OU lands Peyton Bowen, says.
Yeah, and Mass, I understand what you're saying. Maybe he wasn't that impressive on tape, but still a guy that I thought could have helped Oklahoma next year. So we'll see where they're going to go offensively. Okay, here we go. Purple going with the Tawi.
Yeah, I know. Did Purple say Orca? Yeah, we were going to start with this. That's right. Thanks, Purple Orca. We were going to start with this from the get-go. Look, hey, Gunnar Gundy ran a touchdown tonight. He's in the portal. I totally disagree with playing guys in the portal. Again, I'm going to take Purple Orca's comment because we said we'd start with it. I will be upset if Tawi Walker gets the majority of the carries if he is not coming back to OU.
Hey, yeah, I agree with you, Jeremy. And Sooner fan, you watching that game tonight? Miller Moss? Yeah. I know I got laughed at a little bit about it. Okay. But Lincoln Riley seems to do better with lower rated quarterbacks. I think, you know why I think that is?
Expectations.
No.
They actually run the offense.
Where does he come from? What tree?
He was under the Leach tree, wasn't he?
Correct. What is Leach quarterbacks? Mostly.
Yeah, they're underrated guys.
Their system quarterbacks. Caleb Williams wasn't running Lincoln's system, trying to get out of it.
I agree. Hey,
I think if you stick with the system, you can be a very average quarterback and you can have a great career with Lincoln Riley. I think the ones that are higher rated want to do a little bit more. I mean, you could say that. I mean, Kyler Murray had a great career, but I do think, yeah.
Jay, you're correct. I agree. And Daryl, Casey Thompson, if he does come, it's going to be at PWO. He's not going to, I don't think he would be offered a scholarship. I think it would be at PWO, and I'd be all fine. Fine. If it was a PWO, but I don't think he would be the backup. I think he'd be a third stringer and a locker room guy, my personal opinion.
And Hall of Fame college football, Jason, hey, appreciate you joining us tonight. Hey, I 100% agree with you. I'm not a fan of it. And here's the deal. He's had multiple opportunities to come to Oklahoma and hasn't. And to me, and I said this last week, I think if you bring Casey Thompson in and he ends up being the backup, personally, I think it stunts Michael Hawkins' growth a little bit.
No, I agree. I agree with that. I think that maybe he would be a locker room guy and a third teamer. That's what he would be.
Now, if you want to do third team, I don't think he's coming to be a third teamer, Jeremy.
Jay, I don't think he can play much anymore. He's been through the injury bug year in, year out. Okay, year in, year out.
What would have happened if this year Davis Bevel would have been behind Dylan Gabriel and Jackson Arnold?
I agree with you, Jay. I think Dylan Gabriel stunted Jackson Arnold's growth. So stop.
I mean,
I'm not going to get on that thing again. Tanya Shipman. Just, I'm flabbergasted. Again, you are
rock star.
You're unbelievable. You're a rock star, Tanya.
Tanya, are you going to the game? Tanya, are you going to the game this week, tomorrow?
Yeah. Let us know if you're going to the game.
Let us know if you're going to the game tomorrow. Hunter also put in the chat, how is the crowd? Has it gotten better for Oklahoma today? Is there more OU Crimson Cream there?
Yeah, and Hunter, I also want you to maybe as you put a poll in there, the random polls that you're doing, make sure you maybe drop it in the comments so we can see what it is too and talk about it.
Mark, I've seen more people say this tonight about, oh, he's out of shape, he hadn't looked good. Guys, it's a little bit of football, one game. I mean, you can't say he's not still, the upside on David Hicks is great. It is.
Yeah, the upside is there. And look, he's been around. I mean, he's been kind of through the ringer with coaches there too. Hey, people are talking about Sperry jumping Hawkins. I think it's kind of a 2-year thing in the next few years. It's 2 years with Arnold, 2 years with Hawkins, 2 years with Sperry. But Hawkins, I think, will be the backup. And look, about the David Hicks thing, until he enters the portal, it's kind of a moot point. So really, we don't.
Is it moot or mute?
It's moot.
Mute.
No, you're wrong. I'm an English teacher. It's a moot point.
It's a mute too. A mute goes in a trumpet and makes it sound softer.
That's not what the term is. It's moot point.
Okay.
It's not a mute point. It's a moot point.
Okay.
Jeez, Jay, I teach English. Thank you, Hall of Fame college football with Jason and the coach. Look, someone asked earlier about the defensive line. Does it worry me? No, and here's why. Had DeJohn Terry not come back, I would have been very worried. Okay?
Yeah.
Would have been very worried. DeJohn Terry came back. That's huge. Second thing, Lacey came back. So they've got some veterans. Nigel Smith and Jaden Jackson may very well play next year.
Hey, I don't think anybody's doubting the recruiting class coming in is great. I think I think a lot of people going into the portal season thought they were going to get 2 or 3 defensive linemen. They haven't gotten any, Jeremy.
No, I think maybe they. Still think they will, Jay.
And maybe this Miami, Ohio guy, but
he's an edge though. I'd rather have the middle.
Yeah, I mean, there's been guys that they've just. I mean, we all talked about McClellan, and yes, maybe the McClellan thing, they didn't want to pay that much money. I get it, but I do think they need depth in on the defensive line, whether it's starters or not. They need depth.
Hey, yeah. Tone Loc, you're ready to break it down. Let's start breaking it down, Jay. Let's start on the offensive side of the ball for OU guys. Obviously, everyone on here has talked a lot about guys like Gibson that they want to see more of. The excitement of Jackson Arnold slinging the ball around. I think my main concern here tonight, as we're less than 24 hours away, guys. My main concern is, are they going to be a little too reserved early in this game?
What's the reasoning to be reserved?
Because they have a new quarterback, new center.
Why are you concerned? Hey, real quick, I'll get right back on that, but I want to say something about Chief T-Bird. 100% agree. I think the JUCOs are somewhat overlooked now in college football, and I think you can get great players of the JUCO rank. Perrion Renfrey's one of them. I mean, there's guys out there. There's been many.
Ramondre,
so I agree.
Ramondre, yeah, hey. Ramondre. I agree. Go back to the JUCOs and BB Mike, Chief T-Bird. That's a great point, Chief T-Bird. And I want to say another thing about Chief T-Bird. He became a Sooner Surge Unlimited member. So appreciate that so much.
And then you were talking about being reserved. There's no reason for it, Jeremy. I don't think you're going to see a reserved offense. Seth Luttrell, as much as he might want to get his feet wet, I don't think that's his MO. And I don't think it's going to be a very conservative. I think he's going to do what the defense gives him. And Arizona, Jeremy, they like to blitz. If they're going to blitz, well, I think you're going to see passes down the field.
Hunter's already dropping in the chat like he's unbelievable.
What?
Reserved as in Jeff Lebby offense? Shut up. Jeff Lebby's offense was top 5 again, Hunter. Your guy, Brendan Marion, didn't look very good last night. And I don't think Jeff Lebby – I'm going to get fired up right now. There is a reason Jeff Lebby looks reserved. Dylan Gabriel was his quarterback, guys. Hey, we're going to see Jeff Lebby's. Tomorrow night's going to be Jeff Lebby's offense or Seth Luttrell's, guys. Whose offense is it, Jay?
I think you're going to probably see 80% Lebby, 20% Seth.
I agree. So, and what I'm saying is,
there's not enough time to change the whole offense.
Jay, if Jackson Arnold goes in there and is taking shots all game long, we can all stop on the Jeff Lebby thing and say, guess what? It was Dylan Gabriel.
Hey, I don't think anybody's disagreeing with Dylan Gabriel on the down the field stuff. They took shots this year. I mean, Jeff
not often.
Well, but part of that is because the quarterback has to make the read out of the offense. And if he's
I apologize, Hunter. I took it the wrong way then. I thought you meant you said reserved as in Jeff Lebby offense. I don't know what other way you wanted me to take that. Game management was better this year across the board, but hopefully there's better in that area as well.
Yeah. Mike Gundy, something looked off tonight. Agreed. I don't know what it was. So what do you think about this, Colby? What do you think about USC's offense, Jeremy? Why do they look so different?
When?
Tonight.
Quarterback.
What about it?
He's throwing the balls where it should go, Jay. Hey, what about Gundy? Someone said Gundy Stone, question mark. He punted on a 4th and inch at his own 45. He kicked a field goal from the 2-yard line. He's ridiculous.
Yeah. Hey, Jason, 100% agree. And here's the thing. We've talked about it all year. DG on the deep ball always waited too long. He did not have the arm strength if he waited to get it in the right spot. And you got to be quicker on that. You got to be very decisive. And I think that's one of his holdups. That and obviously going through all the reads. I think that was his biggest holdup. Now, DG had a great year. I'm not denying that. But I think those are two areas where OU's offense could have really, really had bigger plays.
I think someone said first play, aggressive deep ball. I actually think the first play is going to be something in the flat, quick flare pass. I think that's what you're going to see first, just to get him in rhythm. That's what I expect. I know Hunter's going to drop something in a minute. We'll get to that.
And I've heard people talk about Jackson Arnold. Well, never started a game. Listen, he's played big time high school football, guy. This is not going to be he may be nervous, and that's all fine. You should be nervous. I don't think it's going to affect his game very much. He may throw a pick, and that's because he's trying to squeeze it in tight spots. And I like the risk factor. I'd go all day with the risk factor rather than a guy playing it safe any day of the week at quarterback.
Well, when I said reserved, there's also the reservedness of that they're not going to run. In my opinion, they're not going to run Arnold enough. But I don't know. With the backup quarterback situation, did you see A&M tonight? First play of the game, the guy breaks his arm.
What about it? I mean,
now he was scrambling, but I'm just saying, I don't know. I don't know that they're going to run him a lot tomorrow. And second of all, if Tawee Walker trots out there as the opening play runner, then there is 100% chance, 100% chance he's coming back next year.
Yeah, I don't think he's playing. To me, if he plays, he's probably coming back. And maybe I'm wrong, but I still don't agree with playing guys if they're in the portal. Yeah,
hey,
that's
Kenneth, I highly disagree with you. Sorry, I'm going to highly disagree with you. Jeff Lebby's offense was a top 5 offense. It's been proven. When Lincoln Riley left, Jeff Lebby brought a very elite offense in here with a pretty average to slightly above average quarterback. Okay, you can argue that all you want, but were there questionable play calls? Absolutely. Sometimes dumb play calls. There is in everyone's offensive repertoire. I can criticize every play call if it works or not. Depends on if it blocks. Some of them are just stupid. Against Kansas, bad play calling. I'll give you that one. But I'm not here to sit here and say Jeff Lebby was a horrible offensive coordinator when OU finished twice in the top 10 nationally in offense with an average to above average quarterback.
Hey, Jason, Hall of Fame. Hey, you say
it wasn't top 5 in the Big 12. It was nationally.
Hey,
jeez, guys.
Jason, you say Tawee's not coming back, but so are you saying he should play in the bowl game if he's not coming back? I'd like the viewers' thoughts on that. If he's not coming back, should he play tomorrow night?
Hey, Hall of Fame Jason with the coach. I'm not saying he didn't have situational bad play calls. Tell me right now who hasn't. Give me a coordinator who's never had situational bad play calls.
Here's the deal, Jeremy.
Lincoln Riley did.
No, Lebby had a really good offense. And you could look at stats and say, yes, top 5 or whatever. But you can also not deny that there were key moments in key games where he was bad. And I said it last year. I think it's all because he's still learning on the job. I don't think he is not that experienced of a coordinator, man. He's had Lane Kiffin. He had Josh Heupel. I mean, he's had other guys probably helping call the plays. This was his rodeo with the defensive head coach. And I think he was still learning in big games. And
I agree.
I think he got better this year, but there was still one game particular, Kansas, where he absolutely blew the game for Oklahoma. Let's be real.
Yeah.
He blew the game for Oklahoma against Kansas. Come on.
Hey, you're an absolutely ridiculous person. I'll say that for Hunter because he likes it when I say that. If you don't think Jeff Lebby was one of the top coordinators in the nation. And Colby, I said we wouldn't win a championship, conference or playoffs when Dylan Gabriel was here. I said it.
Hey,
Dylan Gabriel could not get him there, period.
Do you think if Lebby was there next year with Jackson Arnold, could OU win a championship?
If they were in the Big 12, they would have won a championship. They would have won it. They probably would have won the championship this year with Jackson Arnold.
Well, hey, Lori.
They would have lost to Texas and beat OSU and Kansas and made the Big 12 title game. At least they would have been in it.
Lori, why is Jeff a head coach? 2 reasons. One, it's his next spot to go after being an OC at Oklahoma. He's not he's at an SEC school, but it's Mississippi State. And also look who the AD is. There's a relationship there. I mean, prior relationship. They know each other. I do think Lebby can be a good head coach, but I don't think he's going to take Mississippi State to next level or anything.
Hey, Hunter, I said Big 12 championship if they're in the Big 12 next year for sure. Hey, Jackson, Seth Luttrell is the guy. They're not exploring any other options. It's him. Seth Luttrell's the guy, and I'm thankful for him. I love Seth Luttrell. It was the guy I said, you should go out there, and they did for continuity. He's a dude. I like everything about him. But I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to sit here and sunshine pump like certain OU fans. You say, Lebby's gone. Yay, he was awful anyway. That's a joke. That's dumb to say that.
Jason, I'll have to disagree a little bit here with Lebby as a poor man Riley. We're not too far removed from Riley. Riley had some bad games too at Oklahoma. So I mean, say what you want, but Riley had some games where you're like, what head scratchers. So
hey Jay,
he had way better quarterbacks than Lebby had. Way better.
405 boy, who choked? You said Kansas and the Okie State games are the games where he choked. I hope you're talking about Dylan Gabriel, not Jeff Lebby.
Jeff Lebby choked.
The Kansas game. OSU, they had 10 penalties pre-snap. They had 5 turnovers. Like, what do you guys want Jeff Lebby to do on that? I'm done talking about Jeff Lebby. He's gone. Thanks for bringing it up, Hunter. Lebby's run game, I don't know what it was ranked, but they ran for almost 300 yards against Kansas and lost that game. I don't know. I didn't bring it up. You brought it up, Hunter. You said Lebby's offense was reserved, period. You did it, not me. Lebby dropped the ball in the Kansas game. 100% agree, Lone Wolf. 100% agree. All I'm saying is I thought Jeff Lebby was good the 2 years he was here. Following Lincoln Riley to keep the offense in the top 10 is pretty good. Jeez, guys. You said, repeat it, Hunter. Put it in there. Reserved as in Jeff Lebby offense. So I said I took it the wrong way, but you brought it up. I didn't bring it up. Anyway, let's talk about the game again.
Moving on.
Hunter, have we dropped something in the chat about who's the leading receiver going to be tomorrow, guys? Let's talk about that because Drake Stoops.
It will not be Drake Stoops.
Nope. Drake Stoops had elite numbers. Stoops had elite numbers with DG. Is that going to change with the guy in Arnold who I think, and I'm going to say it right now, I'm going to go ahead and say 9 guys catch balls tomorrow. There's your number, guys. 9 OU players will catch a ball tomorrow.
That's a lot of names.
Mark it down.
Mark it down's fine. You can say that, but I think that's a lot.
You want me to go through who they are?
Can you even name 9?
Gavin Sawchuk, Gibson, Anderson, Thompson, Stoops, Farouk, Stogner. There's 7. I haven't even gotten to.
You got 2 more to go. So
one of the other tailbacks will play probably.
Who would that be? Give me a name.
I'll say Javonte Barnes or Caleb Hicks.
There's 9, but Jeremy, that's a lot.
And Petaway. We'll say Petaway.
Who do you think's the leading receiver?
I think tomorrow the leading receiver is the dog himself, Jaden Gibson. I think in yardage it's going to be Gibson's. I think Gibson's going to catch 2 bombs.
And I say it's going to be Nick Anderson. I do not think it's going to be Stoops. I think Stoops had an unbelievable career, an unbelievable year, but I also think DG really favored Drake Stoops and threw it to him a lot. I don't think Jackson Arnold's going to key on him as much.
Sooner Surge says in the chat that Anderson is leading. Hey, listen. The other thing, Jay, is people are already saying, like Brian Cochran said, Stogner? No. I think Stogner will look better tomorrow night. I mean, obviously you'll know why. Someone's going to actually look his way. He's unguarded.
Let me ask you this about the offense tomorrow. What happens if Jackson Arnold has a bad game? Are you going to, and Seth Luttrell, it's a bad offensive game. Does that make because you've been talking about it for 2 weeks, how excited you are for next year, how the buildup, this game's about next year. If that happens, let's just say that happened. Are you saying next year's going to suck? Are you saying,
I'm not going to
too quick of a window?
I'm not going to get too down on whatever happens. Okay.
So at the same time, can you not get too up?
No, I'll get too up. I'll get fired up for sure.
Appreciate
I know
it, Jason.
If OU doesn't play well tomorrow, we can all blame Jeff Lebby. How about that? Seems like everyone can agree on that. We can do that.
I think we can always use Lebby as a scapegoat. Why not?
I mean, it's his offense, so if it's bad, it'll be his fault. If it's good, it'll be the player's credit. I'm just saying that, in my opinion, we're going to really see a difference tomorrow. Even on the flare passes, guys, the ball's going to be out in a cannon out there leading the receiver, and it's going to get us 3 or 4 yards extra every time.
Hey, Jay, that's a good point. I think it always does, because I think when they do the preseason polls, which they're stupid anyway, but I think that they look at who you got coming back next year, and maybe if they played in the bowl game, how that looked. I mean, it can go into it, but
Fred, you're right. A lot of this, a whole lot of this, 85% of this probably hinges on the O-line.
Yeah, and that's probably the biggest concern tomorrow night, in my opinion. Offensively. Yeah. Gotta be.
Look, I mean, you know of three starters. Who's going to stroll out there at center? I think it's going to be Bates.
I would rather see Bates at center, and I would rather see Heath Azida at guard than them throw Caleb Schaefer out there, because Heath Azida is going to be really good for Oklahoma. Why not get him some experience? I mean,
I agree. I like Heath Azida's upside.
If he's not ready, you can't risk getting Jackson Arnold hurt. So you got to go with who's your best 5. Brian says Everett at center. Yeah, that's a possibility.
I think Everett's a little too small, Brian. I think we've had this conversation before.
We're talking about one game, dude. We're not talking about SEC next year.
Yeah, I agree. Hall of Fame says tomorrow had jack crap to do with next season. It has a whole lot to do with next season.
Tomorrow has everything to do with next season.
Now the offense will be a little different with installed.
I think what he's saying is if they play that, it doesn't mean that it's going to affect.
Right. I think that's what he means on that.
I think that's what he means. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I mean, I threw that question out there. I agree with it. Doesn't really mean nothing for next year.
Mark, we will get scores. Remember that comment on your score, because we're going to drop them in the chat at the end of this live. Who's going to be a surprise on defense, Jay? I hope PJ Adebawore is a surprise. That means he's playing.
A surprise? Or are you talking about, I mean, who's playing, who's going to get more playing time that hasn't? What are you saying?
Well, I don't think Stutzman would be a surprise. I don't think Billy Bowman would be a surprise.
I mean, you'd be surprised if PJ Adebawore plays well?
If he plays at all, I'll be surprised, because I haven't seen him at all this year. If he plays, he's going to get a strip sack.
You know who I think is going to play really well tomorrow night?
I'm waiting.
Jaren Kanak.
Well, I've always been on the Kanak train.
I know, but you can't ever admit when a guy messes up. So it doesn't matter what you do, you're going to say
absolutely
he's awesome.
Can.
No, you
can't.
The
biggest question, Sooner fan,
you've never in your life said that Kanak played a bad game. So just stop.
I have. You can go to any live.
You can go to
any live and say where I say he missed tackles.
No, you have not. Stop it.
You're
talking out of your mouth right now. You know you
football then.
All last year when he played bad, you said he wasn't playing bad. Unbelievable.
All last year, he played one game last year. What are you talking about?
What does he mean? Dak has entered the chat. What is this about?
Jay, I've been critical of Kanak in his pass coverage. He can't play zone. I think he's out of position.
But you defend him more than everybody. And listen,
I want to see him.
You can have the guys you defend. I get it. But
I'm not defending any players, dude.
Jeremy, admit that the second half of the season, he looked like
he looked lost. Duh.
Okay.
That's why he got his butt benched, Jay.
Thank you.
And your guy, Kip Lewis, didn't play well either sometimes.
Yeah, Kip played pretty well. I mean, he had a game where he didn't, but he played pretty well.
He got benched too, guys.
Daryl,
you're right. Daryl,
I agree.
He's Danny Stutzman a year ago.
I agree with that. I think that's a good point. I think
I'm not going to sit here and get bashed by you, Jay, saying I defend certain guys. It's ridiculous.
Oh, I know. I can't bash you. Every time I do, you cry like a baby and whine.
I'm not crying.
So that's fine. Hey,
you're the one whispering so no one will hear you at the house wherever you're at. Stop.
I'm not whispering. I'm yelling, dude. Whatever. Hey,
you are now because you're in a vehicle. It looks like.
All I'm saying is Kanak, Jeremy. I even said that last year. I thought he needs this other year. He needs this offseason because he's kind of like Danny was the year before. He's going to be great. I just think he's still so young. Remember, he played Cheetah last year. He didn't play this position. It's a big deal in Brent Venables' offense or defense to learn it. So,
Chief T-Bird probably says it best. Kanak's going to play a lot. They're at a tipping point with him. Need to know if they need to switch positions. But I'm not going to sit here and take crap saying that I only defend certain. I've been on Kanak before. I've said it.
Jeremy,
stop. Okay. No, you are.
Jeremy, don't. You can say you have been, but you haven't. So just,
baloney. I'm going to go find every video. I'll send it to you where I bashed Kanak for missing tackles.
And send them to me. I'll be up. Send them to me.
I absolutely will, Jay.
I'll send them to you too. I promise you.
Hey, Jet, his library voice. He's in a vehicle now. He can actually talk. Okay,
Yeah,
he can actually talk. All of a sudden, his voice is back.
I'm respectful, dude. I'm with family on a vacation, and I'm not going to yell in their house. So, yeah, I'm in the vehicle now. You're right.
Kanik, infidel, you're right. Kanik has all the goods. He's got it figured out. He missed a lot of tackles. He was bad in zone coverage. Personally, I don't think he's good in coverage. I think he is a downhill blitzing backer. That's what he is. And I've said that. Now, if that's defending him, you can whatever you want, Jay. I'm not going to talk about Kanik anymore. I even just said he played badly, okay? I think he's out of position, or he's got to figure the linebacker position out in zone coverage.
Hey, Crystal, thanks so much. I mean,
thank you, Crystal.
Awesome, Crystal. We appreciate it. I mean, more than you know, really do.
Despite my yelling, despite my yelling, I'm sorry.
Hey, over the last 10 years, which OU team had the best defense? The last 10 years? Oh, that'd be what, 2013 on?
Yeah, I mean,
there was some bad defense. There was some bad defenses in there.
There was a lot of bad defenses mixed in there.
Man, what year? What year would be the best? You know.
Yeah, Tone Loc. I tried to start breaking the game down, and we got sidetracked. Apologize for that.
Hey, real quick, let me answer Crystal's though. I mean, I think it was Grinch's third year that was really good when you had guys like Benito and Perkins. I think on that same team, they were really good. They were really good that year. Yeah, I think they might have been top 30 with Grinch. 1 year. 1 year.
Yeah. Hey, so offensively, people think Anderson is going to have the best offensive game, or at least receiving wise. Defense, what else in the chat, guys? I mean, I said PJ Adebawore. Look, here's what you have to do about this team, Arizona. If you put pressure on the quarterback, he can escape. The gaps have got to be filled because he can throw, he can run.
I agree. I mean, somebody put in here earlier about Peyton Bowen. Peyton Bowen's finally healthy, I think. I think he will have a good game. I think Peyton Bowen will be great. Will he start? I doubt it. I think they're probably going to go with, and RSJ. I saw the depth chart. I would. It might be Pearson. I was hoping RSJ would start. I think RSJ's really good. I'd like to see more of him.
A lot of people talking about R. Mason Thomas tomorrow. Maybe this is the game,
Jeremy. We've heard R. Mason Thomas for 2 years. He's got to show it now. I think he will. Peyton Bowen, is that what you're saying, Jason? You think he's gonna have a huge game? He should start. I think it should be Bowen and Bowman, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
What about zone? Look, I do think chat's saying Danny Stutzman. Hey, he is healthy, healthiest he's been. I do think that the comment that was in here, playing a lot of zone tomorrow night. Sorry, and then you go back to Chris one. Go back to the Chris one, but I think Brent Venables is going to play zone because that's what he does.
Yeah, he's not going to change what he does. He's going to mold his guys to play it, whether they can or not. I don't think he's going to change it. I mean, they just got to get better in that. I mean,
hey, if Tone Loc is still on here, Tone Loc, tell us what you think is the key to the game. I think the key to this game is a fast start. I think that's one of the biggest keys of this game. You've got to start fast. You can't get behind the 8 ball. You know what I mean? Give yourself a chance early. Put points on the board, get a couple of stops, really start the ball rolling. OU typically has played pretty good with time off.
They typically have. I agree. And they kind of can reset after the last year where they were struggling. Reset a little bit, get guys healthy. Danny's healthy. You got McCullough should be healthy. Gentry Williams should be healthy. So
it's the healthiest they've been. Does what need to be restarted?
I'm not sure what that means.
Does what need to be restarted? I don't know. Look, if OU gets the ball and throws 2 times out of 3 and both times, he gets a ball batted down because of pressure and he gets hit early. That's a concern because at that point, what do? You don't really have the depth to keep switching things up on the O-line. You got a couple of guys, but that is going to be an issue.
I don't think it's going to be revolving door, though.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it will. So the O-line's got to be good.
I think they're just going to go with it, and if they make mistakes, they make mistakes. But I think I don't think you're going to see a lot of guys running in and out of offensive line, switching it up.
Ronald Hubble says, key to the game, defense has to get off the field on third down. They cannot give up third and longs. And that's been an issue, especially last year. This year, OU was better on third downs on both sides of the ball. But that is going to be a key.
Hey, Mars Jam. Thanks for joining us as always. I want to say something about this. I don't know how to say that. The Oklahoma will be just fine, Brent Venables' team. I understand that, but defensively, they've struggled in games this year too. So I don't think that comment can just, hey, it's Brent Venables' team. They're going to roll out and be playing great on defense. I mean, that's not been proven. They've been better first 2 years under Brent Venables, but they still had games where they really struggled. So I still am not quite, and like you said, struggle on road this season, Hunter. I mean, so I do think, yes, it's a Brent Venables team. Yes, the fundamentals, the tackling should be great. It's just that I don't know. Arizona's pretty good offensively. I don't know. If they hold them to 17 points, I'd be super happy. I'll say that.
And Damon's right. A month off, Venables can scheme on anyone.
That's
about that. Jay, drop a trivia.
Yeah. Okay, trivia. I'm going to keep it with the Alamo again. I asked an Alamo trivia last night. I'm going to do another one this night. You see the standings there at the bottom. Sooner fan, that lead is dwindling, bro. Ashik is on your tail. He's coming at you, okay? So here we go. There is 2 points for this trivia. And here's the question. There's been 2 Alamo movies. All I want to know is who played Davy Crockett in those 2 movies.
Wow.
You get a point for each one. Do you know it, Jeremy?
No.
Neither one.
The defense, you're right, Tyler. The defense struggled as they got guys hurt. But all we heard was competitive depth. That's all we heard was competitive depth.
Mess, you got 1 point. John Wayne, correct. GOAT. John Wayne is the GOAT. Not Seth Parker.
And I think losing Harrington was bigger than people. There it is right
purple.
there.
Purple.
Billy Bob.
Let me just say this. John Wayne as Davy Crockett or Billy Bob? I'm going John Wayne all day long.
And Billy Bob's a great actor, though.
What? Really?
Billy Bob Thornton's a great actor.
I disagree.
He's not John Wayne, I agree, but he's a great actor, Jay.
He's not a great actor.
Okay.
He's Hunter's
done a whole lot of different kind of movies. I'm not going to
maybe it's because I just don't like. I don't like.
I'm going to stick to OU football, but Jay. So tomorrow night, let's talk a little special teams because you have to, unfortunately. Special teams to me is going to be the X factor, and I'll tell you why. You've got the poor kicking that OU has shown, and you've got the very bad return game. And I'm not talking just about Gavin Freeman. I'm talking about Jalil Farouk as well. It's bad. Something's got to change. I hope it does tomorrow.
You know what? You know what's crazy is I think Nunez as a special teams coach, the first year under Nunez, I thought they were great. You had Michael Turk, obviously, as a punter. You had Schmidt, who kicked pretty good the first year there. And then you had they ran a couple fakes that year. So I thought it was really good. This year just been disappointment. And you can say return game. The one thing that's been really, really good and consistent is the kickoff coverage. I think that's been really good.
Yeah.
But and the punting's coming around. Luke Elzinga's coming around. I think once they figured him out instead of Plaster, it's making a difference. But Schmidt, if he wants to have a job next year, he needs to have a great game because
he needs to be 100%.
Is enrolling. So
yeah, he needs to be 100%. That's for sure. What else?
Best
Jay,
Billy Bob movie? Best Billy Bob movie.
I mean, Sling Blade was good. He was in Friday Night Lights. I mean, I'm trying to think my favorite. He was also in the one with Holly Berry. Was it Monster?
That's Monsters Ball. Never seen it. Best movie, Billy Bob. Golly, that's tough.
He was also in Bad News Bears.
Yeah, that's a brutal movie.
Yeah, Mark, that was nasty. Nasty.
Yeah, that was gross.
Bad Santa. I don't care for Bad Santa, but hey,
never watched Friday Night Lights, Jeremy. Have you?
No, only the show.
Sling Blade was
Matt Vanderbeek or something was his name.
I'm trying to think. Was he in Was he in the one with Bonnie and Clyde or something? Was he in that Bonnie and Clyde? Maybe I'm
Don't
wrong.
know. Haven't seen it. What else tomorrow, Jay? Oh, what was the movie? Kurt Warner's True Story. Yeah.
American Underdog.
Yeah.
Yeah, American Underdog.
Hey, what else tomorrow night, Jay?
Oh, I mean, we've talked offense, talked defense. I would look. What about guys that maybe have not played really at all this year?
Well, we
you
said
think
that.
might
Yeah, we said that yesterday because the O line's going to have 2 or 3 guys that haven't.
Yeah,
played
but I'm not talking about that because they have to play. I'm thinking maybe like, is there any chance Petaway gets any action tomorrow? Probably.
I do think there's a chance.
Really, you think
we
so?
haven't heard a lot about it. We haven't heard a lot about him,
but yeah. I mean,
to me, this game again, it's about early. Get on him early, get a few stops, get Jackson Arnold some rhythm, and let the dude sling the ball around the yard. That's what everyone wants to see. Do not hold us back. Let us see it, please.
Yeah, I agree. That's what everybody wants to see. And that's probably, if you look at both teams, that's the main thing everybody's talking about. Now, I will say the quarterback for Arizona, I'm excited to see him. I think he's a really good player.
Fred, I don't know where you're located. I'm near the Tulsa area in Sapulpa. Jay's in Arkansas.
What about this, Jeremy? We talked about this earlier this week, me and you on a chat. What do you think?
Yeah. Look, I'm not in love with Schaefer starting because he's been there a while, right? And he hasn't really played much. I would much, and he's a senior, I think. I don't know if he can come back next year.
I think he has a COVID year. Hunter, can you verify that? But
let us know if Schaefer has a COVID year. But I would rather play the young guy, same size. I mean, Ozaida's 6'3", 315, I think, right?
I'd rather play the youngster. Agreed. Hey, let me say this about A&M. Mike Elko ain't it either.
Mike Elko ain't it.
Hey, they fired Jimbo Fisher, paid him $80 million, and they went and got Mike Elko. Hey, good guy. Mike Elko's a good guy. He's not going to be a great coach at A&M either. Okay, let's just be honest.
I agree.
I think they made a massive
bad
mistake.
hire.
If you're going to fire Jimbo Fisher, you better go get a guy like Ryan Day. You better go get Dan Lanning. You better go get Kirby Smart. You better go get somebody because you just paid $80 million to get rid of a guy. You better go get somebody that's really, really freaking good.
Hey, Chief T-Bird's got OU 48-35. It's probably going to be total of in the 70s, I think. Hey.
That's not a bad point, Kim. I don't think they'll do that, but that's not a bad point.
Yeah, but hey, if Schaefer's out, as Hunter says, and we thought he was, there's no reason to play him. Yeah, he hasn't played all year.
I agree. If he's out of eligibility, why play? I don't get that either. Hey, Ron, how can you not win at A&M? You want me to tell you how? One word. It's something we've talked about for a week and a half with another aspect of it. Culture.
They should have thrown the entire kitchen sink and everything at Dan Campbell.
I 100% agree, Jeremy. Listen, you're not winning with that type of culture because you're paying the NIL. You can pay all these money, but if your culture's bad, you're not going to win. Dan Campbell would have been a great hire. Tone,
look, thanks for being back. If you left, we did break that game down a little bit, and I'm sure we will some more. But Jay, over under tomorrow, OU interceptions against Arizona quarterback. I say they go over 1, so I think they get 2 picks tomorrow.
I think the over under would be 1. I'd say 2.
I would take the over if the over was set at 1. What about you guys in the chat? Over under one pick.
Hey, Woody Washington, quarterback. Woody Washington tomorrow, I think, has a really good game.
I do too, and I actually think Woody. Look again, Jay. If Woody Washington and Gentry can stack up on their receivers, up on them, and you can get some pressure, you've got to manifest some pressure somehow. This is the key. They haven't been able to do it a lot, Jay. Can they manifest, create, concoct, whatever you want to say, pressure against this Arizona quarterback and keep the gaps plugged so that he can't escape and run on you? That's the key.
Yeah. Hey, I saw something on your jet sweeps, 2.5. What about the first play you fake a jet sweep and throw it deep? That's what I'd like to see.
I think they're going to run a lot of flare stuff, Jay.
And Jay, I kind of agree with you there. I think Woody might get a pick tomorrow night. He has not announced Jackson.
Has not.
But he has that year. He hasn't announced anything yet.
Post game tomorrow, he'll announce
he's coming back. I'm leaning he's coming back.
I think post game tomorrow, he makes that decision. I'll tell you this about Woody Washington, guys. And remember this tomorrow when you're watching the post game. He may not come back, but here's what I'm saying. Everything about Woody Washington, go back to this year. His leadership was off the charts. He was never too high, never too low. He is exactly like, in my opinion, a Billy Bowman type. And if Billy Bowman has that any influence, I think he could be the third part of that three-headed monster that comes back in Stutzman, Bowman, and Woody. I think Woody is underappreciated. That's my opinion.
Got an Arizona fan in here. New disciple. Bear down Arizona. Woo. Hey,
new disciple.
Arizona's had a tremendous year. They have.
And their fans,
great, quarterback's great.
Their fans have showed out. They're there. Look, I think they're going to roll someone over the top. Now, someone said who's going to cover. I think they're going to roll a safety over, at least cheat one over, and that's why stopping the run. OU's got to stop the run well, and they got to be able to put pressure on sometimes with the front four. They have to because, like you said, Arizona's got some dudes. Their offense is pretty prolific.
Agree. Man, it's a late start tomorrow, 8:15 start. What's the score on OSU right now?
Yeah, drop the score in the OSU game right now. And right now, before we get off here, drop the score of the OU Arizona game. Drop it. Hey, it's interesting. Hey, New Disciple says OU defense will be the toughest, I guess, that they've played all year. And Brent Venable said that Arizona may be the best team OU's played all year. Think about that.
Better than Texas.
Some of that's coach talk. Some of that, I think, was the dig at the Longhorns. But
okay, so maybe 31-13 Oklahoma. Is that your score? Is that Oklahoma State score? Okay. How about A&M may have guys hit the portal at halftime the way this is going.
Hey, Jaden Rowe, I think, is still hurt.
Here's your scores coming in. Probably an OU chat. You won't be seeing many Arizona picks, I bet.
Yeah, we'll see.
35-31 Tone Loke. I'm leaning something like 38-24 OU.
Hey, and what a play that was, Kim, about hitting the tight end Sanders in the mouth that Bowman did. What a play by Bowman in that game. Hey, so here's the deal. Tomorrow night after the game, we will be on. Okay? Win, lose, we will be on. Talk it for you guys, to talk with you guys about this game. We're looking at, I'm going to say probably 10, 15 minutes after the conclusion of the game. They are going to have the trophy ceremony, all that stuff.
We'll probably wait till
we will be on.
Yeah.
It'll probably be early Saturday morning going into. So we know you guys will join us because you're awesome. Every one of you guys. And thanks for being on here tonight. We'll have some content coming before the game tomorrow as well. But again, drop your score in the chat. That will be saved.
Thanks for all the comments tonight. Kept it rolling.
That will be saved. I apologize. I got too fired up probably. My bad.
No, why are you apologizing? Don't be one of those dudes. Seriously.
And
you're going to apologize? Come on.
Big shout out to 3 people for sure tonight. First off, all of you Sooner Surge viewers. All right. I just appreciate everything you guys do. Second of all, Crystal Calendar, thanks so much again tonight for the
appreciate
super.
You.
We really appreciate you. Tanya Shipman, thanks so much for the super. Chief T-Bird, shout out to Chief T-Bird for being a Sooner Surge Unlimited member as of last night. Thanks so much. Appreciate everyone. Lloyd, thanks for getting people to like. Dalpoas, all you guys that are OGs and all the newbies as well. We appreciate it. Big game tomorrow. Cannot wait. The Jackson Arnold era is going to be here officially in about 20 hours from now or whatever. Can't wait. See you all tomorrow. Till next time. Boomer.
Sooner.